guys, welcome back. It's Shelby and today we are making a lava mug. So I have this plain black mug. There's nothing really cool or special about it, and I thought I would paint it to make it look kind of like lava, hopefully. So I will be using my glass paints. You guys have probably seen these in a different one of my videos. I'll link them above and down below in the description if you want to check those videos out, along with the paint so you can make this project at home if it works out. Speaking of which, I've never used these paints on anything but clear and white glass. So we're gonna try it on black. We're gonna see if that works, and hopefully it will. The paints I have are transparent, so I'm thinking I can probably build up the colors enough that it works, but we will find out together. So the idea of lava is, well, A, it's a black mug, like what else are you gonna put on here? I mean, I guess you could actually put a lot of really cool things now that I think about it, but I only have 3 colors of these paints, and you know, I find that works for most of my crafts, so I don't have a whole lot of them currently. I will probably get more in the future because I do use them, but I've had these forever and they're basically full, so I'm just gonna use what I've got. Basically, I'm going to do like a lava pattern. I was thinking kind of like that kind of scale pattern that it does when it's like breaking apart the rocks, maybe like a little explosion. We'll see what happens. We'll see how well the colors build up. They do build up pretty well, but we will find out, and we will find out if it works. Basically, I will be following all the usual techniques with this paint, which is just to paint it on, let it dry for 24 hours, which I've gotten a lot better about, actually. You guys probably know that I used to do like 3 hours or 5 hours. The last couple projects I've let dry it overnight, and that's awesome because I'm getting better at following the instructions. I haven't noticed a difference in the project as long as it's dry going in. They don't crack, they don't do anything. These paints are awesome, but I guess it's always better to follow the instructions, so I'm getting better about that. Put them in the oven when you bring it up to temperature, let it bake for the time, and then just leave it and let it cool down in the oven. Always get good results, never had a project fail that way, so those are really your only techniques. I will link the paints and my other videos down in the description below if you want to check those out. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Drop me a line in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the project, and let's get going. Okay, so I have shaken my paints up. I'm going to start with the red, and basically the only rule with this is, and it's not even a rule, it's like a guideline. Don't get it where your lips are going to go, even though like chances are you're fine. It says it's safe for drinkware and stuff, but like just try to keep it below where your mouth's gonna go. They do become dishwasher safe for the top shelf, which is awesome. But yeah, basically I'm gonna be working from the bottom of the glass up. That way I make sure I don't get it near the rim, and that way it doesn't look weird. You're not like starting halfway down and then doing a picture and not quite making it to the bottom. Like you start at a line and you just kind of go up as far as it goes. So that's perfect. So I'm just gonna dip my red, and I'm using a fair amount of it. I'm gonna turn my glass over. I find that helps. And I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm basically just putting a bunch of it on here, stippling the brush, and we're gonna see what comes out of this. So I'm pretty excited about it. If it works out well, then I will use this as kind of like a guideline to expand into kind of like other, you know, darker glassware, I think. You know, basically I'm just want to see how this paint reacts to darker colors. So I'm just stippling it on, but like a lot, and then letting the color run a little bit. It's pretty thick. It doesn't run that well. It's kind of like that thick icing that you use for cakes, not frosting, but like the actual icing. So you can see it does keep the shape of the brush stippling, and then I have like a ton on there, so it is kind of running a little bit, which is cool because it's lava and lava runs, but lava runs slowly, and so does this. So I'm hoping it will create like a realistic mimicry of a lava flow and like the texture, because they both are liquid moving very slowly. So yeah, that's the hope. So basically just a ton on the brush, and we're gonna do this. Leave some dark spots out, because why not? Do I want it up the, sure, I'll just put a little bit up there. On the handle, why not? And then we gotta go around the handle on the inside, of course. Am I dripping anywhere? No, this stuff's awesome. Okay, so here is what it's looking like. This is the big drippy from earlier, and it's kind of smoothing everything out. which wasn't necessarily the intention, but I'm not mad at it. So yeah, it's kind of creating a cool shape there. I've left a little bit more black on this side to kind of look like the burnt rocks with the fire underneath. I'm getting the handle a little bit. So yeah, I anticipate this being a pretty quick craft to paint, mainly because I don't have a picture in my head that I'm trying to recreate. I'm literally just like putting a ton of paint on here and seeing what I come up with. So a lot of the way it turns out is going to have to do just with gravity and the way I'm holding it and how much paint I put on there and how it drips down. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. That looks like lava to me, sort of. I mean, imagine it upside down, and I'm gonna put yellow on it too. So I think that's cool. I actually really like the handle. Look at that. It looks like it's like the bottom of the volcano is like, so that's cool. I like that. I'm putting more on there, and it's gonna drip more, and it's gonna be kind of awesome. So we're gonna do that. Here we go. Yeah, no, that looks good. Actually, I like the drips more than I thought I would. So I'm just going in and putting a ton of paint just up here. Like I'm literally just like kind of scraping off my paintbrush on the edge a little bit. This craft is definitely gonna need the full 24 hours to dry. And looking in my bottle, like I've used more paint on this craft than I think I have on all of my other crafts combined. Like my bottle's almost half full now. So if you do want to go through your paints, this is the type of project to do it. All right, so we got some drippy droppies. That looks pretty wicked. I'm gonna leave it like that. And wash off my paintbrush, close my red, get my yellow out, and return when I've got that all cleaned up. Okay, so I got my yellow, and just wondering if this is too small of a brush. I have a bigger brush, but I feel like that's too big. These are my two options, so we'll go in with the big one, and it's curved, or angled, I guess, so I'll just use the tip for it. So this is what we're looking at for, oh, that's a good way to hold it. The red dripping, looks kind of cool. In my experience, the color that it is the color that you get. It is translucent though, so I don't know if the black's going to peek out more and make it darker, but if this was a white or clear mug, this would be the color you got, so cool. And the yellow and lava pictures I've been looking at just kind of accentuates it. You can see it's transparent, it's not like an opaque, so we're just gonna kind of go in and I don't even know. Okay, that wasn't the intention, but just putting a blob, and we'll let that go down and then just kind of, ooh, okay. So it looks like I definitely have to put a blob because I also put a little bit right there. And you can't see it because it goes completely transparent on the black, so we are just gonna have to go crazy with this yellow, like even more so with the red, just to get it to show. Here we go. Like nuts. But yeah, it could be cool. Make sure you pop all the bubbles, or as many as you can. They're not gonna do anything, they're not gonna like crack it or anything, but you will like have a definite defined bubble in your work, and everyone looking at it's gonna be like, oh, you got a bubble in there. They don't disguise themselves at all, not with this stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna hope for the best. I almost feel like I should have left the yellow off. This might just like be ruining the project, but we will find out. And like I said, we will do it together, so. Boom, anywhere that there is a place without a lot of red, I'm gonna be putting some yellow, and then, actually I kinda like how it looks flat. It's not keeping any texture, but oops. I'll like flip it upside down and let it drip after, so where it's got kinda like these negative spaces right there, that's where I'm gonna put some yellow and hope that works out. And if it doesn't look at all like lava, like I was hoping, we'll just call it like a hurricane glass, or like a drippy paint glass or something. Like nobody needs to know the original intent. That's the best part about art, is it is whatever it ends up as, and nobody can really say or prove that that wasn't your original intention, so yay. I kind of want to like hit it with my brush, like this part right here, to make that splatter effect, but I know it's a really bad idea because the paint's gonna go everywhere, so I'm just gonna like tap it, and that's not working at all. Ah, this is not my intention. Okay. Yeah, this might just be a drippy glass rather than a lava glass. We will see. It's kind of cool. But I also know the yellow is gonna go a lot more see-through than the red, so, you know, it's not gonna show up as much as the red. It just won't. It's a lighter color. It's not gonna happen. I kind of like how it looks dripping down into the red though. So I'm just gonna put a bunch of drips on the top here and just kind of like wipe my brush off on there and see what happens. So these are just starting out. These are kind of, have had some time to drip down, so I kind of like the way those look. Put a little bit more by the handle. Just leave them to drip down. I should do some on the handle probably, right? Just like wipe my brush off on the handle. I'm using even more yellow than red. Ooh. Good thing I have a paper towel down. I do too, I'm not just saying that. Okay. That actually looks pretty cool. It really does. Ever get to that point in your projects where you're just like, anything more might ruin it, or it might be exactly what I need, and you don't know which one it is. So yeah, I mean, this is more of an experiment than a project anyway, so I'm gonna call this good. This is done. Yeah, it's a little bit more drippy paint than lava, but I think it works. I kind of wanted to do those like lava fields. I'm just gonna set it down to dry, like the lava fields and like the little patchwork of like when the ground breaks apart and you can see it around there. But I mean, and I should have known better working with these paints, but as soon as I started it was pretty clear that wasn't gonna happen. So yeah, it is what it is, and we will let it dry and fire it, and hopefully it turns out well. But yeah, so basically this is it. Which I just showed you, but I'm gonna show you again, like a good legit 360 view. So when it's done, let's see if I can do this. It's gonna look like that, which is pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. So I'm gonna let this dry, and tomorrow we will put it in the oven and see what we come up with. All right, you guys, here's the big reveal. Here's how it turned out. It's all kind of fired. Just baked in a normal oven, and that is my lava mug. It kind of turned out really cool. It's not quite as vibrant of yellow as I was hoping, like especially right here. If that was like bright yellow, that would be so cool. But it's not, but it's still visible. The yellow over the red turned out really cool, and it actually made some cool patterns just with how thick it is. So I do like that. I think that looks pretty cool, and it looks kind of like lava's exploding up on it. So I'm gonna call it a win. If you're doing this at home with how much paint I used, I did notice that while it was drying, it was just like running towards the top. So every 10 minutes or so, I would flip it, and then like it would, you know, kind of pool on the paper plate, and then I'd flip it and get a new paper plate. So it was like kind of a waste of paint. Like there was too much paint on here, so you could probably get away with using less. But overall, I kind of like this. I think it looks cool. It's kind of like dark and fiery and just kind of like its own little mood. So yeah, that's how it turned out. Looks like you can use these paints on black ceramic as well as white and clear glass. So yeah, I'm gonna call this project a win. I have a brand new cup. I'm super excited about it. If you liked the video, let me know by hitting that thumbs up or down in the comments. Consider subscribing if you want to see me again. I'd love to see you here again soon. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.